Welcome to Science Exposed. I'm Patty.
I'm Tracy.
And we're from Praxis. And in this episode, we're going to do some more solid science. This is one of my most favorite experiments because you can do it any time of the year and really adapt it. For instance, at Easter, I like to do clucking chickens because lots of baby chickens are, hatched at that time of year. Thanksgiving, we can do gobbling turkeys.
Okay.
Or at Halloween, you could do, so scary ghosts. So again, these materials are super easy to find at your grocery store, your hardware store. So you basically need a red cup. Now you can change the color if you want to do white for a ghost, or you could do orange or yellow. It's entirely up to you. I just have red ones. That's what I could find today. You need a nail, some string. Now the string is really important. You just want like this kitchen twine because this is going to help us produce the sound. So it's very important to have that thin kind of kitchen twine, which is very inexpensive. Some buttons, scissors, and a glass full of water. Now I love to decorate my sound, so I have some googly eyes here, some glue, some pipe cleaners, some little pom-poms, or you can get these, paste-on decorations that have nice little faces at different times of the year. So collect all your stuff. I like to be organized when it comes to science. I like to have everything laid out because there is nothing worse than starting your science experiment and then saying, oh, I gotta go to the store. It's kind of like making a recipe. If I was cooking chicken and rice tonight and I didn't have any rice, well, I'd have to put everything away, go down to the grocery store. So organized when it comes to science.
Got it all here, it looks
exactly. Okay, so first thing is we're just gonna take the nail and poke 2 holes in the top of the cup. So it might take a little bit. Be careful. You might need an adult to help you with this. So just push it through. Oh, sorry, that doesn't sound very good there. One more. Or if mom or dad maybe has a drill works really well. You can just drill through there.
Yeah.
So we have our holes. Now we're going to take a nice length of string. About that much. Cut it off. Yes, I'm sorry. I like to do 2 cups because just one, sometimes they crack. So this way it goes through 2 and we get a better puncture. So
okay.
If you would you like to make one too?
Sure.
Okay.
I thought I discovered something.
Oh no, my apologies. So nice. This is a little tricky because you have to feed this string through. You need to start at the top.
It's pretty long.
Oh, we need it long. You'll see because it's hard to get your hand in there to tie.
Okay.
So I like to feed both ends in like this. And you're going to pull it pretty even, and you're going to tie a knot. Now this is a little tricky, but you need a good steady work surface to work on here.
Like threading a needle.
Oh, it is. That might be actually a good suggestion. It might be nice to have like a yarn needle to feed it through those holes. It might make things a little easier.
Okay.
So now we're going to take this and we're just going to tie a knot. What I do is I just go like this, tie it 1 loop, and then we want to push this down all the way to that top of that hole.
So
and
that
just
you've
have
got
one
long
string.
string.
Exactly. And you know what? For extra security, just make a knot in there and just push it all the way down. So then we have this.
Wow. You have that.
Well, while you're tying that, I'm going to just get a button. 2 holes in the button. Perfect. If you have 4 holes, that is fine too. Let's find you a nice big button.
Big buttons are better?
Well, I just think it's easier to thread through the big button.
Right, okay.
Small buttons work too.
Oh, thank you.
So there you are. So just take, before the button, just a second. We need the sponge. Almost forgot about the sponge. And I like these kind of, now I don't care much for these soft, more natural type sponges. I like the fakey sponges that are kind of heavy and
dense.
Dense is a good science word, thank you.
You're welcome.
So those are the kind I like. Now this gets a little tricky too. I like to just take the nail, or you can use your scissors, and poke a hole in there. And we're going to force this piece of string through that hole.
That just went right through the middle of it?
Just goes right through the middle.
Okay.
Just force your string through that hole.
Okay.
So you take this, now we're going to thread that button on there.
Okay.
And we want the button right on the very end because the button is going to help us from having the sponge fall off.
Okay.
It's kind of like a stopper for us.
Oh, that was easy. Actually, I threaded that no problem.
So just thread that on there, tie it in a good knot.
Now the other one will go in.
Sometimes, you might have to just snip it a little because it gets a little frayed.
Okay.
Just use your scissors. Tie a good knot on there. And you don't have to, but I like it to look pretty, so I just trim it up a little. So this is what you're left with.
Yours looks really good. I'll catch up.
Okay. So now, because this is going to produce sound, we actually have to do something to the sponge first. Now in this beaker, I just have water out of the tap, and I'm just going to wet my sponge and squeeze it out, just so it's wet. And you want to hold your cup between your two fingers. Now this is the tricky part. You have to wrap this sponge around your string, okay? Because that is what's going to produce the friction that's going to make the sound. So as this sponge is pulled down this string, it's going to cause the string to vibrate because of that friction. And this cup is like, it's kind of like a megaphone. It's going to amplify those vibrations and that sound.
Like an echo?
Yeah. So listening ears again.
Okay.
Are you ready? So again, how you move the string can make different sounds. We can make a moaning of a ghost. That's kind of scary. Trying to make it gobble like a turkey. I don't know if this one will work.
I can hear that, sure.
So you can do all sorts of things, but I'm not done yet. As you can see, I love to decorate it. So if you have time, put some decorations on there just with some glue. You're ready to go. Let's see how yours sounds.
Well, I want to see if it does it with dry.
Okay, give it a shot. But remember what I said about the water.
So this
We have to,
worked a little bit. Okay, so let's try to wet it.
so we need to get that friction there.
Okay.
Create the vibrations.
Okay. Huh. Oh yeah.
Much louder. Very nice.
The only bad thing with this is if you do it with your classroom, then you've got 25 kids
Could be
making
a little
that
loud.
sound.
But they're gonna have tons of fun, right? So
Yeah.
that is another great sound science experiment you could do with your class educators. But unfortunately, that's all I have for today. But for more information, make sure you visit Praxis at their website at
www.praxismh.ca.
We'll see you again soon.
Bye.